Okay, so there's something that I also want to touch on when it comes to people saying that they're metabolically damaged or they can't lose weight in a calorie deficit. There's no such thing, like you need a calorie deficit to lose weight. And if you're blaming the fact that you're not eating clean all the time, then you're wrong. As long as you are getting in your protein intake and all your micronutrients, you're hitting your fiber intake, you're getting most of your food from wholesome foods, then you can actually eat foods that you enjoy and still lose weight. So the reason you're not losing weight on what you consider a calorie deficit is because, one, you're not tracking all the foods that you eat. Because if you're if you're eyeballing your chicken serves, or you had a tiny bite of cheesecake or a tiny bite of a donut, or you had your kids' leftover peanut butter when you were peanut buttering their sandwiches, or the Nutella or whatever else, or they left their crusts on their plate and you eat their crusts, or you add milk to your coffee every single morning, or actually if it's just a little dribble, that is tiny. But if you're adding quite a lot, or if you're ordering your coffee out instead of making your own coffee, it all adds up. It really does, especially if you're a female and you have little calories to play with and less wiggle room. You need to track every single lick, bite, nibble, chew, everything else, because if you want to get serious about losing weight, then you need to get serious about holding yourself accountable to these little things and actually journal it down. Like, if one of my clients isn't losing weight and what they're having, I get them to take a photo of everything they put in their mouth. And without even getting to day 2, they're like, shit, I just realized that I'm eating stuff that I'm not meant to be eating. And then they realize that that's why. So yeah, it's just all about awareness. That's pretty much what I wanted to make this video about, because to have lasting results, you need to be aware of everything that you do. And it doesn't come down to always being so meticulous. You just need to be aware of it, because okay, you slipped in an extra bite of cheesecake, just twiddle something for the rest of the day or twiddle something the next day. You don't need to live in deprivation. You just need to be aware of everything that you're doing and not be in denial, and realize that even sneaking in an extra fruit adds up. An extra banana, that's 90 calories. If you do that every single day, that's 90 times 7, 630 calories. You're putting yourself out of a deficit. 630. And if you've only put your calories, which they should be, in a way of being pretty much 100 calories of a deficit every single day, that 700 calories deficit you're aiming for, I'm just using whole numbers. Your deficit could be 300 calories, it could be 200 calories, it could be 150, but just say it's 150. That's 700 calories that you're meant to be in a deficit in that week. And if you're having that banana every single day, that's 630 calories added to your intake. So then that 700 calorie deficit becomes a 70 calorie deficit. And our bodies don't run on numbers. This is what I keep trying to say. We aren't in a vacuum. So you can't say that you do the exact same activity every single day without any external influences, because stress also impacts the way that your body metabolizes fuel, the way that you sleep, pretty much. If you're sleeping more, if you're sleeping less, if you decided to walk extra miles, or you had more chores or errands to do, or if you had extra work to do in the gym. We don't burn the same, we don't burn and use the same amount of energy day in, day out. It's all average, it's dynamic, that's why I don't give dead set calorie amounts and dead set macro amounts. When I'm doing my meal plans, I give them options that have little differences in their macros as well. I wouldn't just say, you can only have a banana here. I'm you can have a banana, you can have some mango, you can have some berries. I give them options of what they can have for their fruits. And when it comes to breakfast, for example, I'd be okay, you can have oats, you can have Weet-Bix, you can have Cocoa Pops, you can have, I give them the different options, because I know no matter what choices they make, it is still a carb for breakfast. They are still getting in their protein intake, and they eat loads of veggies throughout the day, because I make sure they're getting in their fiber. So I just make sure that it is around about what they need, and I try and track as much as I can, because they're lifestyle clients. They aren't trying to get shredded for stage. So these little deviances don't matter. Of course, if you're trying to get freaking, even a bikini chick, I wouldn't put through the freaking harshness of being so pedantic on everything, because that could fuck up your head. if they're one of my, like, if they're a bodybuilder, as in a male bodybuilder or a figure competitor, then I would get more up in their bum about how many steps they're doing in a day. What's their activity like outside of the gym? Is your activity getting less outside of the gym? Okay, that's why you're not burning, because your non-exercise activity has dropped. Stuff like that. But you need to realize that we do not live in a vacuum, but you need to be aware of everything that goes into your mouth and all your activity out. Because, yeah, as much as these foods all add up and take you out of a deficit, so too does every single little bit of activity that you don't do. So, say, for example, usually you go for walks to the shop, and now because your mind says, I'm in a diet, I want to conserve my energy, now you're driving to the shops, that all adds up too. All of that adds up. So, just being aware of all the things that could lead to you plateauing is the most important thing when you're trying to lose fat, pretty much. That's pretty much basic, but if there's anything else that I can elaborate on, let me know. Yeah.